We're also following breaking news out of Washington, D.C. today.
The founder of the Oath Keepers, Stewart Rhodes, was just sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Rhodes was found guilty of seditious conspiracy last November. This is now the longest sentence to be handed down to a January 6th defendant thus far. NBC News Justice reporter Reilly joins us now from outside the courthouse. Ryan, it was a long sentencing hearing. What more can you tell us about how it all went down?
That's right, including a lengthy statement from Stewart Rhodes himself, who tried to make himself out as some sort of political prisoner, got in there that he hopes that Trump wins in 2024, which is, of course, something that a lot of January 6 defendants are hoping, because Trump has commented that he may pardon some, if not all of them, during some of his recent campaign appearances. But the judge rejected all of that and said that Stewart Rhodes is not a political prisoner. He's here because of his actions that day, and pointed to a lot of Rhodes's rhetoric going back for more than a decade, until back to the early Obama era, and when he first started the Oath Keepers, talking about violent action against the government, and trying on January 6th to impose his will upon the country, even though his preferred candidate lost. Kate.
And Ryan, I wonder, does Rhodes' sentence suggest anything about what could be in store for other January 6th defendants?
I think it does, especially Enrique Tarrio will be the interesting one that we have forthcoming. He was, of course, also convicted of seditious conspiracy. He was the head of the Proud Boys, but this is the longest sentence that we've seen to date. It was a bit short of what federal prosecutors wanted. They had hoped for 25 years in federal prison, but 18 years in prison is something to write home about. It's a significant sentence and the longest that we've seen thus far, and sort of sets a benchmark, I think, for these potential sentences going forward. But this will be at the upper end of what ultimately I think we see coming out of these January 6 cases altogether, because while there are some very violent offenders who have yet to be sentenced, those cases are few and far between. This was the biggest conspiracy case that we saw thus far that talked more about these broader issues rather than individual violent action. Here's in Clay.
Yeah, 18 years sentence. That's no small thing. Ryan, Reilly, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.